state, for example, to Kwaninda, of wise people in this country, to put their minds together, side by side with their manifesto and the policies that they've put in place. What is happening now calls for not visits or tours or trips to other countries. No. This poverty cannot be quenched using cooperating partners, using support from UK, using support from USAID. No, not even foreign direct investment will sort out this.
Meanwhile, even for the ruling party,
it's too late. It's too late, my man. If President HH is a politician, then it's too late for him to amend the Public Order Act. Why do I say so? He's already having pressure now. Very soon, for evils that are going on, all the hunger, he has been blaming it on PF, except people have said no. Even now, the only two available for him to shrink you guys, to make sure you don't challenge him, to make sure this is really altered, is the Public Order Act.
The Ministry of Health has intensified sensitization on the human papillomavirus multi-age cohort vaccination campaign, which was launched on Monday this week, urging to allow their girl children to get vaccinated for them to get a long-term protection against cervical cancer. Speaking when she on the 5FM A-Side Breakfast Show, Chipata First Level Hospital Health System Strengthening Nurse, Misozi Zulu, explained that the Ministry of Health is targeting girls aged from 9 to 14 years because they are pre-exposed age to sexual activity. She also said the Ministry of Health is encouraging women who are sexually active to go for cervical cancer screening so that the disease can be detected at an early age.
HPV is extremely common virus that causes cervical cancer and one of the top killers of women in the world. So not only in Zambia, but in the world. So however, when the vaccine is given to the girls at this age and before they are exposed to the virus, it can actually protect them from the most harmful types of HPV. So it's better to be prevented than to actually go through the cervical cancer stages and whatnot.
Zambia has recorded an increase in the number of citizens accessing family planning. Health Minister Sylvia Masebo says about 50% of women are currently using family planning, as revealed in the recently published report by Zambia Demographic and Health Survey, ZDHS. In a speech read for her by Lusaka Province Minister Shell Muliata during the commemoration of the World Contraceptive Day, held in Chongwe yesterday, Ms. Masebo explained that access to a wide range of contraceptive methods has transformed the lives of countless women and young people, enabling them to plan their families and pursue productive careers. Meanwhile, the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, has bemoaned an increase in the number of teenagers who drop out of school as a result of unwanted pregnancies. This year's event was being celebrated under the theme, The Power of Contraception Options. The Zambia National Education Coalition has called for increased budgetary allocation to the education from the current 13.9% in 2023 to at least 15% ahead of 2024 national budget presentation tomorrow. The coalition is of the view that 6% of the education budget must be allocated towards infrastructure development to construct more secondary schools and boarding facilities to address the shortages of these infrastructures in the country. Coalition Executive Director George Hamusunga also wants more resources to go towards a digital real-time database for schools and devolve the system between the school and the ministry. Mr. Hamusunga has further urged the government to consider broadening skills development levy into an education levy that will provide dedicated funding for the education sector. He added that ZANIC also expects that the Minister of Finance announces progressive taxation measures that will ensure that multinational companies pay fair taxes to help increase revenue and avert the current revenue loss of $635 million.
We also expect that the Minister of Finance will announce progressive taxation measures that will ensure that multinational companies pay fair taxes to help increase revenue and avert the current revenue loss of $635 million US, which we suffer annually according to the Tax Justice Network.
A study by the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection, JCTR, dubbing monitoring of the Enhanced Constituency Development Fund, CDF exercise, conducted in 4 constituencies, has revealed low levels of community participation in selection, approval, and monitoring of community projects. The exercise, which was conducted in 51 wards of Chisamba, Kasama Central, Livingston Central, and Masaiti constituencies in May 2022, focused on transparency, accountability, and community participation in the implementation of CDF. The study has also shown that there is secrecy in contract awarding for CDF projects at the state of public bidding opening. Presenting the findings during a media briefing in Lusaka today, JCTR Faith and Justice Program Manager Grant Tange revealed that 74% of the community members and ward development committees did not attend contract award ceremonies. Father Tange said because of this, the community members were unable to monitor whether the process was compliant with the Public Procurement Act and if contracts were being issued to local contractors as
in order to enhance transparency, accountability, and community participation in the implementation of CDF, JCTR recommends the following. All stakeholders, including media, duty bearers, policymakers, civil society, and community members, the church and the private sector, must build synergies to promote transparency, accountability, and community participation in the implementation of CDF through dialogues, social audits, social accountability, and monitoring project implementation. The local authorities must develop a practice of regularly disseminating information and decisions to community members on the CDF program. Reports, for instance, feedback on rejected proposals, adverts, etc.
In other stories trending this afternoon, Community Action Against Corruption has advised the newly appointed Auditor General, Ron Mwambwa, to ensure that sanity is brought to that office, alleging that it has lost its credibility in the past few years. Tourism Minister Rodney Sikumba called for green growth as a balance between investment in the tourism sector and environmental conservation. Up next, business news.
From Radio Business News, we mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
Zambia's annual inflation for September 2023 has increased to 12.0% from 10.8% recorded in August 2023. This means that on average, prices of goods and services increased by 12% between September 2022 and September 2023. Speaking during a media briefing in Lusaka today, Zambia Statistics Agency SG Mulenga Musepa said the development was mainly attributed to price movements of selected food and non-food items. Mr. Musepa said the disaggregation of the annual inflation by provinces shows that the annual inflation during the month under review increased for all provinces. He also indicated that the annual food inflation from September 2023 was recorded at 13.4% compared to 12.6% in the previous month. Meanwhile, Mr. Musepa has disclosed that the country recorded a trade surplus of 2.31 billion kwacha in August 2023 compared to a surplus of 2.33 billion kwacha in July 2023. In foreign news, Burkina Faso's Security and intelligence services foiled a coup attempt on Tuesday, according to the country's military government. The BBC reports that it is alleged that officers and others had planned to destabilize the country and throw it into chaos. It has been almost a year since the interim president, Captain Ibrahim Traore, seized power. In sports news, the Football Association of Zambia FAS has announced a reconstituted technical bench appointing Zanaco Ladies FC Divers trainer Sarah Chungu as goalkeeper coach. FAS General Secretary Ruben Kamanga says head coach Charles Halubono retains his position while Carol Kanyemba has been elevated from the under-17, where she served as assistant to the under-20 bench in the same capacity. The third assistant position will be occupied by Naomi Piri, whose team manager is Hezo Ndubakwenda. Kamanga says FAS will announce some consolidated changes to other benches soon. And now the lunchtime weather.
Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road. Roofing Africa. Class
Most parts of the country are mainly cloudy, slightly windy, and warm to hot, with showers expected over Chavuma, Mwinilunga, Solwezi, Nchelenge, Mporokoso, Mbala, and the surrounding areas. Maximum temperatures will range between 24 degrees centigrade and 36 degrees centigrade. That item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, a look at stories that made headline. President Hakainde Hichilema urged to call for a national indaba to address increased poverty levels. Annual inflation shows no signs of slowing down. And Burkina Faso junta says it foiled a coup attempt. These and more stories, you can follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the happy world of 5FM Radio. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. My name is Grace Msimuko. Do have a pleasant afternoon.
Get acquainted with the